I'm not ready yet. I'm pouring coffee. Hang on. Look at these fine, wonderful folks while I'm coming. Yeah. Okay, here we go. This should have. Let's see if I can hear myself. Yeah, there I am. And just switch the cameras. There we go. Pull up the chair here and get all cozy. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the airship, James True Live. I'd like to welcome you aboard on this fine Christmas Eve. Our co-pilots today are Catherine Hopkins. I don't know if Melanie's making it. She's actually doing, she does this animal run thing where, yeah. So, but anyway, welcome to the show. Let's see here. We've been booted from YouTube, but we are on our secondary channel, the Dojo World channel. In fact, there's some news on Dojo World channel, which I will go over right now. That's just in. Johnny B has started his own homesteading channel. Some of you have seen some of his work, either on the Dojo World channel or inside a dojo. Johnny's also can be found in our Telegram, lingering about, dispersing wisdom. And he now has his own YouTube channel, which I'm very excited about. And please look for links in the description, in the chat right now. Yeah, I want to get that link too. I just realized I actually couldn't type anyway because I don't have... things are kind of weird because since YouTube shut off James True Live for 7 days, I can't even access the the chat the way it was. But I'm really glad to be serving the Rockfin shout out there. Hello, Rockfin. And if you guys have joined me on the Dojo World YouTube channel, this won't be a regular thing, but I figured it would be a good excuse maybe to get some subscribers. Since you're going to subscribe to Johnny's channel, if you could subscribe to the Dojo World channel, that'd be great, because if we had 1,000 subscribers, we would be able to live stream in a way where I could see everything the same way. Yeah. A couple things I want to go over here really quick. I have, because of the YouTube being shut down, I want you guys to understand a few things about my position. And you could either agree or not agree. I'd love to hear your comments if either one. Hang on a second. I've been... rushing this morning. And oh, that's nice. That's nice. A couple things. Number one. I have actually never said that this thing that's going around that you're supposed to take that it is dangerous or even poisonous. I've never said that. As a zetetic, I can't say that because I don't know. I don't know what's in anything. Unless I made it, I don't know what's in it. I just don't. What I've always said is that the belief that inside of you right now is an asymptomatic, invisible, touchless, odorless demon, and that believing that this invisible thing inside you, that's, again, asymptomatic, is not only inside you, but that we must send someone holy inside you, and that the holy person must take a stainless steel stake, a sterile stainless steel stake, and shove that sterile stainless steel stake right into the heart of this invisible demon that's inside you. I've always maintained that having that belief is poison. That just having that concept in your mind that A, there are vampires in the world, and B, those vampires are living inside of me. They're either vampires or they're werewolves. They're Wookalars is what they are. And that these Wookalars are living inside me, and they are so deeply embedded inside that they're invisible. And that I need to find a preacher, someone who's sterile and clean, someone in a white gown perhaps, and beg them to come crusade my land, to come burn through my land and hunt down this Wookalar and stab it through the heart with this shiny silver blade. If once you can see, you can see. Like, once you truly see this, it's stunning how visually true it is. It's absolutely stunning how real, how obvious it is. And I can't even say that I can't claim the credit that it was always that obvious for me. This has been a slow roll myself, which is why we talk about dilation. When you're dilated, you can handle this stuff. You wouldn't be dilated if you couldn't. The amygdala simply would not allow you to dilate so much to where you could even see something like that unless it knew you could handle it. It's watching that throttle the whole time. It's watching your brake. The melanin that you secrete is going to instantly slow that down. You're going to be like, whoa, okay. Could not be more obvious. And I'm getting shit on Instagram, which is fine, by the way. I love it. But I'm getting shit because people think that I'm being too hard, that I'm dehumanizing one side or the other. And I think that there's a good validity to that. And I want you to know that I feel that too. And that's exactly what I'm prescribing. I'm prescribing that. I'm purposely making it sting as hard as I fucking can. Because I do not want to thank these people for their service. Will not thank these people for their service. I will go out of my way to make sure that they understand exactly how expensive their behavior has been in this world. I will remind them over and over again that there is an energetic usury that comes in by you insisting that you have an invisible, asymptomatic demon inside you and that you need the sterile stainless steel stabbing of something to cleanse you. That belief hurts everyone around you. And I want that to sting. I want it to sting bad. I want the humility, the shame, the stinging, whatever you want to call it. I want that to sting so bad that your children are ashamed of the decision your house has made. And I want that shame inside those children to breed and to grow something called sanctity and sovereignty. And I want that to sting. And you, when we say that division, James, how does it help to divide everybody? And I say to you that every cell requires division to enter mitosis. That every growth process in this world requires that there be a division. And that this fucking fantasy that we have about how great unity is in fact your weakest link. Because your obsession with unity is your very obsession with abandoning your own power, your own sovereignty. The reason why you feel unity has virtue in it is because it's the only excuse you can grab hold of and still maintain your dignity when you are feeling like maybe you're a coward. Because you can look around and go, well, everyone else is doing it, and unity is in fact a virtue. And what is democracy but the fashion of unity? That's all it is. And that we are going around rewarding each other with the exact same prana, the exact same tokens that belong to us, our own pride, our own reputation. And we're saying, oh, here, have some of my pride because I'm really proud of you. Why? Because you gave some of your pride away too. And we've created this energetic vortex where people think, oh, well, clearly what we do here is we take away pieces of ourselves and we throw them into this other thing. And unity itself, to bring this point home, is neither good nor bad. Unity is a system of survival. The school of fish relies on unity. If we stay together, we will be strong. Why? Because the chances of me getting eaten are now 1 out of 500. How many of us are here? 1 out of 500. And that just makes me feel better. But it attracts more sharks to the same area. It makes me feel better. But they're encircling us. It makes me feel... Now the whales are blowing bubbles. It makes me feel better. And you just watch the spiral that happens as you're exchanging your energy for virtue. And every time you give away a token, suddenly your coefficient of morality drops. Your coefficient of sovereignty drops. Suddenly things that were moral become immoral. Suddenly you're noticing unity is the only virtue we have. Why? Because that's the only virtue you can afford with the tokens you have left. You abandon those tokens to unity. It lowered your pranic budget. And now what you think is the right thing is different because it is. Because right and wrong are based on your budget. They're not based on unity. And what is objectivity but fucking the fashion of objective morality? What is the hypothetical virtue that you want everyone else to have? And if everyone else has it, we will all give our own sanctity now and award it any virtue to that which we consider objective. And the criteria for the subjectivity will simply be majority rule. But hey, that's objectivity for you, It's the same thing. So you see why democracy becomes a moral requirement in a society that's giving itself away. A society that will go so far as to run a Hunger Games program on itself in which literally people are chasing invisible Wookalars. Complete strangers are telling you that there's a Wookalar inside you and you're believing them and you didn't vote for that stranger. Not only that, but doctors are dressing up like war heroes and declaring that the only way we can save you is that we have to have a war on health information and people like me, like James True, must be shut down so that we can save lives. That is objective morality acting itself out on the streets. And what becomes the justification is everyone else is doing it. Therefore, it must be true. It's the same concept of objective morality. It must be true. You're literally simply counting all the shitty behavior and you're saying, yeah, but it's a lot of shitty behavior, which means it must be good. Look at these people stabbing each other. James, I tell you, there's no chance a Wookalar could survive this. There's no way a Wookalar would ever be able to survive what's happening here. And the objective morality is we don't question whether the Wookalar exists. That would be what a Wookalar would do. The fractal of humanity is palpable when we look back at the scourge of the codpiece of righteousness involved, all of it, from all the crusades, from all these different systems running. And the reason why they take off is because majority rule is a different motor. And that motor has so much power to it, it's like dead to her. It's like dead to her. That your ability to survive will break down to how many grilled cheese sandwiches you can sell on Shakedown Street. Why? Because the energy is different. You're not there for the cash. You're not there for the gas money. You're certainly not there for the nutrition. You're not even there for the music. Let's be honest. Fuck, dude. That's a lot of playing the same thing over and over again. No, you're there for the humanity. Because about all the places you've been in the world, when you're on Dead Tour, you're surrounded by this vibration. And this vibration has a smell to it. It's patchouli. And you can despise it, you can love it, you can linger it. It doesn't matter, because the romanticism of it in the beginning was something that dilated you. And what dilated you about it? I'm telling you, what dilated you was the slipstream of pure prana rolling down Shakedown Street. Because every single one of those people had rejected society, and every single one of those people was trying as hard as they can to believe in Aquarius. Because of the trauma that we have, because of all the things that we have, we decided to demonize, our very gifts, our own immunity. We see this every day, right? I hate money. Money's evil. It's why the hippies fell first. They fell first. Spent 10 years in Asheville, probably the hippiest town I've ever seen. And yeah, I've been to Portland. Portland's sort of a lumberjack hippie. It's, actually, I don't mean that. That's sort of suggesting that lumberjacks... You know what? We're not going to go here. When you first enter that cloud, you're under the impression that the last place oppression could ever exist is here. And what fools you about that illusion is because people have abandoned their sovereignty. When you abandon your sovereignty, you abandon your oppression. It's weird, but it's true. It's the basic white belt. All of the dojo works comes down to that first white belt of ignorance. And we don't castigate ignorance because it's so vital to our survival. It's a good technique when you don't have the calories for anything else. It's a great technique. And you live in a higher vibration despite how little you have when you're on Dead Tour. And you will find an entire city like Asheville that's running or ran off that kind of economy. And it's beautiful because you know that people are, in my mind, what was beautiful about it is that people were valuing witness than they were money. And as you look in that system longer, you start to find that it has some holes too. And one of those holes is pride. One of those holes is ego. One of those holes is your ability to be afraid or feel anger. That all of those things are considered evil. All of those things are considered reject. That to a hippie, the perfect cow would be one that doesn't know he's on the farm. And even when they're sticking things in him, it's just, eh. And Buddhism gets you there. This romanticism with apathy is truly psychopathy in training. And it's funny because Buddhists will sometimes disagree, and I look at them and I have to chuckle. And they have to chuckle too because they realize I've got them in a corner. And that corner is that if they try and defend Buddhism, well, that would be an attachment, wouldn't it? That would be attaching to the comfort that you feel by calling yourself Buddhist. And that you could look at the spectrum from Buddhism to hippie to all these other levels, all the way up to liberal to Republican. And we did these charts where we talked about how the immune system is lower or higher based on your political affiliation. Why? Because the political affiliation is truly how much you've secreted of your outer shell. This whole time you thought that was dead skin and you were scraping it off. This whole time you thought that was dead skin, but it turns out the whole time that was keratin, providing a sheen and protection around you. That it wanted there to be a wax coating to stop the dents and dings. I'm not saying don't exfoliate, ladies. Do what you want. I'm trying to say that your approach to this, if there's guys that exfoliate, man, no worries, go ahead. No, I'm not going to tell them that story, James. Don't worry. how we feel about the process. And I think this is something that gets lost a lot too. We think, well, it's all about intent. It's actually not. It's really all about just what vibrations are secreted from you. That's really what it's all about. Even if you are ignoring what's happening now, eventually when you cash in, you're going to have that much more debt to pay back as you realize, wait a minute. That entire time, I was simply just abandoning myself. That I was appealing to the majority, that I was trying to fit in, that I was trying to do this, that I was trying to do that. All of those are immunocompromises. All of them are. My words on YouTube are an attack on that white belt defense. It's such an attack that YouTube has had to shut me down, 4 times now? 4 times, just since May. They've actually, I guess, in a year. This year I've been shut down 4 times, I guess. Why? Because I'm a danger to the immune system. And if you're already gone, all you're going to do is see me just dehumanizing. You're like, oh, well, you're just trying to separate the vaxxers from the anti-vaxxers, James, and well, that's exactly what they want. It's like, well, first of all, they is you. They is me. They is all of the tokens that we give away when we abandon them. So first of all, they is us. We have more control over who they are than anyone else in the world. Anyone else in the world. If you don't want the child to burn his hands when it touches the stove, how the fuck are you gonna spend the rest of your life making sure that child never touches the stove? Does that help? Is that what kindness is? Are we calling that kindness now? Because it took 78 injections, 78 hunts for a Wookalar to get me to learn. 78. Actually, I probably got away with fewer. I probably, because of my age, so I was in the military, they gave a lot then. I think that this problem I had when I had my face peeled off, it hit me this morning. I was like, fuck, if that would have even been related to vaccine. No one asked, no one checked, no one cared, no one thought about it. In fact, when they pulled the tumor out of my face, I wanted the tumor, and they looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, why wouldn't I want that? I want to know what the hell grew in me. I want to know why. I want to know where. I think they sold that thing. I think that probably made a lot of money. I think that you could actually argue that a pharmaceutical company is, well, if we get any tumors, that we'll gladly pay for them. We'll gladly give you hospital if you get a pericarditis or I'll think of it. Paleotidectomy. Paleotidectomy. If you have any paleotidectomy tumors, we'd love to buy them. We've been engineering this creature that grows inside the lymph nodes of humans, but is only activated after a certain amount. See, this is why they threw me off. It's because I wonder things like this. But why would they not? Through the history of time, we, meaning they, have had a very, very, very big budget when it comes to cadavers, to dead body. Why would... It seems loco that we don't think that. It seems loco that I would not be able to do the exact same thing the hospital did to me. The hospital told me, even though I was up and drinking water, they told me, no, we're going to need to charge you $1,200 now for these 2 bags of saline. There was no negotiation on that. I didn't even know what was happening. And that I should be able to do the same. I should be able to have that tumor go, whoa, 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 that's my property. Oh, you just threw it away. Oh, man, that's going to cost you. That took me 16 years to grow. Man, add up the compound interest. Fuck, you guys owe me money. You fuckers owe me money. And if we had autonomy, if we had sovereignty, we'd be living that way. We'd be doing it. Abortion should come with flowers. I know that's very controversial, but abortion should come with flowers. I'm here to tell you that the moment that a mother who has an abortion knows that she gets paid is the moment she starts to see something that she thought was worthless suddenly has value. And it's the same thing as the banana trick. It's the same thing as the tokenization. Oh, that's disgusting, James. Yeah, you know what's worse? is not valuing life. What's fucking worse is 78 Wookalar hunts later, and you're raising your kid going, I'm going to vaccinate the shit out of you too. That's worse. That's worse. And if you were truly the steward to humanity, you would compassionate what's happening, and you would instigate protocols that might make that change. And the morality of that has nothing to do with your fucking fashion statement about what everyone calls nice right now. Because you're living, not you, but those people are living in that make-believe time where no one lies, where science is real, where rockets that land on their butthole is like advancement in space, stuff like that. No, I'm talking about real hard alchemy. Like, there is a bull trapped in that fucking barbed wire fence. It is wrapped around his genitals. It is wrapped around his ankles. This is going to hurt. That bull is not going to like what I'm getting ready to do, but I need to save that bull. And all the screams and all the freakouts and everyone else driving by, it's like, oh, look at what that terrible man's doing. It doesn't fucking matter to me, because my morality is more important than what someone thinks about me right now. And we don't have that world. That world, maybe 2% of us would override. Probably more. The mitosis has done pretty well. Right? What would you say? It could be 50-50. It could be 80% are awake, 20%. You're not going to know. Why? Because you're not even allowed to count the numbers right. There's not even a way. That the channels that have one side are pushed down, the channels that have the other are elevated up. I'm not even saying that that's why my channel's the size it is. I'm trying to say that across the board, that's what happens. And people like me every day who are live streaming are often waking up noticing, okay, they shut me down again. Is this viable? Is me live streaming viable? And then since the thing hit, you look at how much the YouTube is even paying you, all that stuff. It makes you think, is it viable? That's an attack on my immune system. My immune system hasn't faltered. It hasn't because of other immunities I have, one of which is Patreon. Another of which, believe it or not, is crypto. Put all my money in crypto. Thank God. It's the only reason why I'm able to keep running. All of these things are your immune system. They all are. Telling you. Guys, I actually made it. I can't believe this. I made it. It's the 24th today. Yep. And I did not open number 24. I didn't do it. I made it. I'm so happy. So I'm going to do it. Oh, here it goes. Oh, there it goes. And we have, it's the True Train. It's the, thank you, Sarah. It's the Best Apocalypse Ever with Prometheus as the conductor. That's hilarious. I have a piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. I don't want to make a promise and burn in hell. I'm just gonna leave it here for now. Yeah. But Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for coming to the Tribal Christmas party. Yep. If you do me a favor right now, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, if you could subscribe, that would be fantastic. That'll help the Dojo Earth channel do better. Speaking of Dojo Earth, I've been in sort of underwear programming mode, working on the DAO. Most of it's just learning about blockchain programming, how to submit things, NFT work, things like that. I felt like I over talked about crypto last episode, and I definitely don't want to do that right now. I can tell you though that because I'm back in learning mode, this underwear mode, it's hard for me to get my thoughts off of anything else because it's just a lot of learning, secreting a lot of calories, looking at this stuff. Excuse me. In fact, if you were to go to dojoworth.org right now. /game. I think it's game right now. But yeah, you would see just the very, very, very crude start of that. Basically, there's a community chest, like a community wallet, You can go up to the wallet. If you sign in with MetaMask, you can enter the page. Once you're in the page, you can see the treasury balance. If you wanted to put Ethereum in, you certainly could. It would show you that, and then the next time you came back, it would recognize how much Ethereum you have put in. But we're eventually, I'm going to get the patrons. Anyway, it's going to be NFT based access, but what I do want to maybe not bore some of you with on crypto is the decentralized aspect of this. So in the past, when you wanted a website, you would have to physically farm it to a specific location on the internet, 143.79.119.40, for example. And that if you go to that address, you would find all the contents of the website. A lot of people on the web don't like all the censorship that's happened. They hate it. They don't like the government overreach. They hate it. They don't like router attacks. None of that. So they've rebuilt the internet, and it's Web 3. One of the concepts of that is that there's no such thing as a website quite like you think about it anymore. If it's done right, you can decentralize your website, which means no one can actually shut it off. It really is that bulletproof. The reason why no one can shut it off is because the website doesn't actually exist in one location. Not only that, but the entire website doesn't even exist in one location. That the website itself sort of ceases to even exist, and I'll tell you why, because what you're looking at is the machinations of all these gears that turn and turn and turn and form, and all of a sudden at a split second in a split time, all these machinations of all these cubes form a perfect grid that looks like a web page. It's like that. And that web page only was spun and seen just for you, just in that moment. And that to even have a concept that the government could obliterate that becomes a much more difficult problem. I do believe that censorship is coming because of how many people still believe in Wookallars. I do think that the people that believe in Wookallars are the ones behind all the pain that we feel. I do not think that this is brought on by an elite 4 people in a room. I believe that humanity is much smarter than that. And sadly, we're much more powerful than that. When I say sadly, it's great, but when you're watching people shed the power, it ends up as this egregore. It ends up as this very cruel, shitty Leviathan that wants to stab everybody. That's what it wants to do, and that the only way we're going to save that is to ride that worm. We have to imbue our consciousness into that worm and tell that worm what we want. Some of you have chosen this battle. Some of you have chosen to insist no. And even since the last time we talked, when I told you that the mitosis from bad to good energy was 48,000 times higher, and that number today is 51,000 times. So just since we spoke, something invisible, something intangible, is now worth 51,107 times more than the physical dollar. And the dollar still says 1 on it. It still says 5. It still says 10. It still says 20. Coins still make sound in your pocket. They don't make the sound of gold and silver, though. They don't even make the sound of copper anymore. It's very different. So it's pulling in a lot of my attention because I'm really curious what's going to happen. I think that if you look at Web3 and how a web page can form like that, and if you add to that something called privacy coins, I think that you're looking at a vast, huge, giant space for people like us to thrive. And I think that that vast, giant space is not going to have the same sort of beautiful technicolor like you might find at Disneyland. It's not going to have that. That billions and trillions have already been spent on making that Disneyland long before you and I set up our greenhouse live cam. And that's part of why my numbers are so small, just part of it, is the same thing is happening, has always been happening. And that there are enough of me, I know there are enough of me that we will forge something new. It will be its own. It won't be Disneyland. It will look and be demonized quite like Napster was. It will look something more akin to that. And many of us are going to say, well, that place is just too dirty for my kids. I'm going to send them to Disneyland. I want my kids to be brought up in Disneyland. And there's going to be masks. And there's going to be one bathroom. And there's going to be a shitload of vaccines. I mean, a shitload. And it's going to be pretty and nice. And there's going to be unity. And everyone's going to get along. And you're going to have a Mickey hat. It's going to have your name on it. You're going to have central bank digital tokens that no matter what time it is, no matter what's happening around you, when you open your phone, it always says 1. It always says 5. It always says 10. And you don't have to worry about misinformation. You don't have to worry about anything except for waiting in line for the next ride. It's a different world. Different world. Or you could come to the woods. You could enter a teepee that serves you. You could maybe even invest in that teepee and say, I want to build something more. I love this teepee, and inside this teepee, I want to form another teepee, and I want this teepee to be about this, and I want to learn about this, and I want to learn about that. I want to see what kind of grilled cheese people are cooking up on here. And sometimes I'm going to buy some grilled cheese that's going to have dirt in it. It's going to have dirt in it. And I'm going to be so salaciously dilated by the fact that I just had a grilled cheese with dirt in it that it's going to change me. And then I'm going to suddenly notice that the pleasures of life are more like weather. And that weather's beautiful because being in the same air-conditioned room with the same temperature, with the same light, all the time is death. That's what death is. Death is the ceasing of vibration. And the tremors that you see prove that you're alive. They prove that to you. They remind us that we're sailing. The ocean's a dangerous place, isn't it? We each find our good moorings wherever we can. And the entire time while we're moored, we know that we are simply a slip away from having our autonomy again. That I bring you here because I respect the captain on your vessel. And I simply have found a reef that feels like a good time that we can gather and talk shop, right? Talk about it. So, there's my little speech. Let's see if there's any. I don't even know if the chat's working because of the way I got this, and I'm gonna see if I got that up. But restream chat. Let's see. This could have even been from yesterday. Oh, whoops! I hit refresh, so now I can't even. If you typed anything, I now can't see it. But if you type something starting now, I can see it. And so that was my bad. I shouldn't have hit refresh. There are some people here though, which is great because we lost. But I love danger. Does that make me a bad person, Alex? That makes you a living person, right? You know, you're coming back in. You know, the fort of Puritans knows who they want as their tracker. They hire, I see D-Live. Thanks, front man. They hire Indian scouts. They literally will hire their own enemy to be a scout. And they don't want those scouts in camp. And when the scout comes back and reports, they don't even want to hear what the scout says. They just want one person to hear what the scout says. They don't want to touch that guy. He's too savage. His gnosis is too savage. Do you understand? His ability to see, to simulate the forest, to know what's coming is too strong. And so The civilization values and wants the paladin. He wants that rogue agent, and he wants him away. It's much like the seer on that show Vikings, right? It's the same thing. That Viking dude, the seer, only had one eye. Why? Because he wasn't looking in this world. He was looking somewhere else. Not only that, but people didn't like him. They didn't hang out with him. Like, oh, it's Christmas. Let's take a pie down to the seer. That'll be nice. Yeah, let's sing us some Christmas carols, Ma. No. No, in fact, you tell your kids you stay away from that seer until shit goes down. The first thing you do is you go, hey, seer, what the fuck's happening? And as soon as the danger's gone, that's seers. No. Maybe we'll invite him next year, son. I don't know if we have enough pie for the seer. This is our boundary. These are our immune system. The fields of our immune system is what this is. Normies have no clue what you were talking about. I don't even talk to them. Sark, but to the sheep, I am no longer a scholar. So wills my lot blessings upon it, for this is the truth. I have departed from the house of the scholars, and the door have I also slammed behind me. That's beautiful. Too long did my soul sit hungry at their table. Not like them have I got the knack of investigating, as the knack of nut cracking. The sheep are insufferable. The sheep are you. The sheep are me. The sheep are flowers that don't have the energy to even think about budding right now. That they need to learn how to just grow like one little leaf, right? Like, hey, look, guys, I have a leaf, right? And you're up here going, oh, that's great, man. Way to go. It's like, yeah, look at me, I'm a leaf. Look, I'm voting. Look, I'm a Democrat now. Look. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm a Republican now. Look, I have two leaves. Look, I see things in two. Look. Oh, my God, I'm a flower. Oh, see? Hasn't even budded yet. Hasn't even thought about producing a stem. Are you kidding? He's not going to whip his stem out in public right now. He's way too shy for that. Way too shy. Do you know how much courage it takes for a flower to literally just show its genitals? That's all it's doing. It's just showing you its genitals. That takes serious ego. It's like blooming. Turn that shit out. So, the sheep that we see are in the karate class, they're in the dojo, and they're learning white belt, right? Now, you might be up here learning how to block, but they're more like this. Whoa, I do not see you. Whoa. It's all very good. It's like, whoa, I do not see danger. Oh, see? It's very good. They have to learn how to do that, right? Wax on. Oh, wax off. Oh, me no see danger. Me no see danger. No matter how many times you pull their hand away, they are learning to keep that guard up. And that's good. That's healthy. I swear that's healthy. I swear. Because this, whoa, look at me. I got some leaves. It's going to turn in. Those don't even look like my hands today. Oh, look at me. That is going to turn into something else. That could turn into a sunflower bigger than you. Bigger than your fucking house. That's why we call it white belt. Ignorance is not an act of cowardice. Do you know why ignorance is not an act of cowardice? Because cowardice requires more energy than ignorance. Cowardice is an act of fear. White belt is below fear. Cowardice is simply you valuing something. Ignorance is fear, but with a lack of value for something. Do you understand? On white belt, you don't value your sovereignty. That's how ignorant you are. In yellow belt, you're just starting to value your sovereignty, but you don't have the energy to act yet. So yellow is actually important. When false flags happen, that actually dilates people. So you're watching the false flags happen in certain schools or whatever, and those false flags will cause a dilation to open temporarily, and that flower has the opportunity to either keep their eyes open in yellow or apply the white. The fear themselves allows them to act. So now they're out on the mat going, oh, I don't see you. And then they're getting kicked in the nuts. Oh. And they're hunched over and they're like, oh, well, I don't see you anymore. Then they get kicked in the face. So you want that. You want that because you need them to see that this practice they've been doing, ooh, cover my eyes, ooh, not see the news, ooh, James True is blocked from YouTube. All these moves are training you as you advance. And you will suddenly notice that the wax on and the wax off pays off. It pays off. Let's see. I wanted my son's 17-year-old friend to sneak me into the Matrix, but they said they were too afraid if they get caught, their moms would find out. Yeah, that's the irony that people are taking a vaccine to go in to see the Matrix. It's peak God comedy, if you think about it. Like, it is. But I don't want us to be too hard on these guys. Because these guys are like, I saw the Matrix. I'm thinking differently now, you know. And he's like, yes, you're right. Julian Assange is being mistreated, and he's going to save us all because Saudi Arabia was behind 9/11. These are all of these are coming out. They're coming out, and you don't know which branch is going to be the flower. You don't yet. It's too young. It's too little. It's too little. You don't know where the flower's going to come. You don't. You don't. So you have to nurture that stuff. And how do you nurture it? You prune it. Yeah. And when I come prune it, the first thing all the other plants are saying is, look how cruel James is. He just pruned that. Oh, you're such an evil, evil bastard asshole. And now the plant that got pruned has the opportunity. Oh, yeah. Wow, I could take a bath in all this victimhood. Look at all this sympathy they're giving me. And so he does. He does that for a long time. He's like, you're right. Oh, Edward Snowden is a hero. Edward Snowden is a hero. He's risked it all. And they weren't able to find him because of how tricky he is, right? Or Hong Kong is a truly independent state that China just somehow has not been able to conquer, even though it's only the size of a few blocks in comparison. These people are coming out. They are. But when you're sticking your head out, you're not ready to say, predators everywhere. You're not ready to say that. You're like, hey, I think that actually might be a predator over there. And then he goes back in. That's good. Good. Let the fear fall over you is what I say, which, right, sounds kooky, right? Oh, God, James is right. But I've been saying the whole time that fear is a fucking promotion. That the moment you find someone in fear, you're looking at someone who's opting for a promotion. And that's why it's so difficult to do what I do, because most of the time, I'm trying to alchemize people's fear and get it right past that anger loop, right? The anger loop's tough. A lot of truthers love the anger loop. And they'll just demonize half of it and go, anyone who is a Jew is the problem, or anyone who's a Mason, or if you like to rollerblade, it doesn't matter. Because they're alchemizing the proof of, I will destroy all because I am righteous and good and everything else is bad and evil. Yeah. And it's that kind of thinking. And that mat's good. It's a great place to be on the mat. When you're exercising your righteousness, what you're really doing is saying that I have a right to be sovereign. That's really all it means. And that the righteousness is simply you learning to stop shedding. The righteousness, you haven't shed it yet. You've got that codpiece of righteousness on. You're shedding your righteousness by crusading. So still, you're getting there. You're more dangerous and you're getting there at the same time. It will happen. But you need to stop shedding your energy. Because if you stop talking shit about yourself, about your ego, about everything else, if you stop shit talking others just to make yourself feel more elevated, like we all are great because someone else sucks. When you stop doing that, you find you have even more energy and you begin to truly compassionate your opponent. And it's not even about, oh, look how nice he is, he's compassionating. No, it's like, Mike Tyson would compassionate your fucking face. He was watching it more than anyone else was in the room. He was predicting exactly where the muscles were going to move it. He was going to meet that face. Meet that face like no one had met it before. That requires compassion. So even the word compassion, you need to shed away this idea of consent or conciliation or objective morality, all that shit. You're just going to lose your energy and you're not going to be nearly as effective when you're seeing this stuff. I know that a lot of my friends on Instagram that I grew up with, I think they're appalled by some of the things I say. Why? Because I'm purposely using their body and I'm dragging it through the streets. I'm taking people I grew up with and I'm dragging their body through the streets. Not using their name, but everyone knows what's going on. I'm doing that because I need everyone in the neighborhood to hear the next time this Pied Piper comes, this will be just as fucking expensive. You want to come out and start playing the song? I am going to make it expensive, and I am not alone. There are others like me too. Why? Because that's my immune system. It has no choice but to act. And I don't give a shit about unity. No one actually gives a shit about unity unless you're simply afraid to stand alone. It's the only reason why you could be afraid. It's the only reason why. Do you want this or not? He's so close. See, if I turn the camera, though, he gets even weirder. He gets freaked out. All right, guys. Let's see. Tyson is he's a real hero of mine. Seriously, that dude's amazing. Amazing. And when some of those fights, the philosophy that comes out of his mouth is just, oh my God, it's brilliant. Just brilliant, guys. Brilliant. I highly recommend you look into that more. Wash hands, wash hands, wash hands. I'm not sure what that means. You keep going that way, Red Tans. But, wash the hands is baptism, isn't it? We're literally feeling clean when we wash our hands. It's beautiful if you think about it. It's like when you've washed hands, it's the only time you can actually touch clean. You're feeling it. It's a good kind of baptism. You're also reinvigorating your field. When women exfoliate, sorry, don't mean to keep assigning that task to them, but they're shaving their old field off and building a new one too. All these are electrical fields. They're all fieldings. Jazz hands. That's right. Wow. I'm learning the Julian song. Anyway, we'll have to do another bit there. I found my hat, by the way. All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to get back to work, get back to this DAO stuff and work on that. Please, if you don't mind, go subscribe to, I don't know if, someone just tell me in chat if everyone's already done that, but there's the YouTube channel that this is on. I could use you subscribing to that. Again, if we had 1,000 subscribers on that, we could live stream on the go and do more stuff. And we're also working on this new show where Catherine's helping us out too. So so far that we've been doing that on Dojo Earth. We might keep doing that. It'd be great if more people would join that channel though. Let's see how well we've done. 839. Okay, so we got to have more subscribers. We just have to. We have to have more subscribers. So hit subscribe. Go to Dojo Earth and hit subscribe. It'll help. Yeah, that's all I'll go for now. Oh, I see. Actually, there was one issue where one stream broke. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna wash my hands together. As Red Tins likes to talk about. I'm not sure what that means. I'll have to scroll back and see. You guys have a beautiful Christmas. Happy Christmas Eve. And yeah. I'm pausing because I don't know. I could even be online later today. I just don't know. I've just been so absorbed in this blockchain stuff. By the way, that's it has. If anyone did put Ether in this wallet, it would be amazing simply because I could test it. But don't feel like you need to. But there's that DAO test you can see. That'll be fun once we get that going too. I think we really have an opportunity to build something. I think we already have actually. I'm really excited about it. I hope that you guys will consider joining. If nothing else, you can even. Oh my goodness, what a great tip! Thank you, Amel. Thank you. Holy jeez, wow, thank you. But I hope that you guys can will consider joining us in that in any capacity. I could tell you that your first order of business is you need to install MetaMask in your browser. And if you have trouble with that, if you were coming to our Crypto Dojos or just participating in Patreon, I think you'd find that not only are you not alone, but there's other people that have the same issue, and that let Melanie know, and we would we do a session on that. So yeah, it's something I think is important going forward. It's just to understand where the weaknesses are in this new realm and where the advantages are. So yeah, we could learn it together. And I think that if we were all working together, I think we could actually create some tools in this new Aquarian world. And you would be one of those creators because you would be a part of the DAO. So, but that stuff will come soon. Yes, have a blessed Christmas, everyone. Love you all too. Thank you, Althea. I think I put some in, but I'm not sure. Yeah, exactly. We're all learning. But I will be able to tell you that, Mary. Well, I'll be able to tell you that, and we'll see. So yeah. Yes, minor fees too, guys, on the NFTs. So, Catherine, on that, if you guys don't want to talk about crypto, you can just hang up now. I appreciate you, though. But I waited this long, and this is really on my mind. So, I took Sarah's photo of the campfire, or video of the campfire, and what I did was I took a screenshot of that campfire, every frame, and I made an NFT from 19 of those frames. And the idea was now I have 19 NFTs minted, and I will give those to people in the DAO. And because you own that NFT, it would act like a key, right? This sounds great, right? Because it would be in your wallet the whole time. It would be your automatic login. Because of Ethereum, because of the fees right now, for me to give you an NFT that I was to value at $4 would cost you about $38 in gas fees because of Ethereum. That's not acceptable. And of course, if this is all brand new to you, please know that Ethereum's been slowed down for 2 years. I think it's been more on purpose, honestly. I really think that it's been more on purpose. But luckily, because this is decentralized, even though Ethereum has been sort of halted, a lot of coins have, XRP has too, by the government, this SEC investigation, but even as things are halted like this, other technologies being built really fast underneath. What I'm getting at is that all day yesterday, to save our tribe from actually generating fees, I've learned how to build an NFT miner of our own. This is kind of what I mean by if we had an organization that was all working together, we would have certain perks that would exist because you were part of the DAO. One of those is that I've got the rough makings of a tool that mints NFTs on our end. Our code does it. And what makes this possible is now I don't have to mint an NFT on OpenSea and then sell you that NFT and pay those gas fees. That when you come to the DAO, because you're a part of the DAO, you could use the NFT generating function and literally generate an NFT inside your own wallet, and none of those fees would now be paid. Now you have that NFT in your wallet, and that NFT is sort of like your lanyard. That would get you access not just to our site, but to anyone else. If we build out the Dojo Earth DAO as a community, then I'd like you to imagine that everyone who has that same authorized NFT that we are counting as a pass would be able to get into a number of different places all over. It's like a dead show pass where you would go to any other show and get in too. Why? Because we all had that shared tribal pass. That's just to get you onto the property, right, of the network. In our case, Dojo Earth, but other people will have other networks. Once you're there, each TP, each project, like we have a staking DAO we're planning where people, if they want to stake money, they'll put money in. That'll earn interest from the Bitcoin staking, just like your regular staking online. But then a percentage of that would go into the DAO. That would just be one project. Another would be war party investors, where these people like Sterling are like, let's go out and find a giant buffalo, and it's like other people can participate in these different activities, but none of these separate DAOs would work as smoothly if they didn't have this underneath DAO, which is what we're building now. which is basically just the way for us to recognize each other and to grant each other sort of a witness validity. Is proof of witness is what it is. And I think that by you mining your own NFT token using our tool, you would have that, but none of us would have to pay the fees. So I hope that makes sense. I swear it's like really, really cool finding this workaround. And I could show you more about it. It's only because I just used to be a programmer and this stuff's just a little bit faster for me. So AI is going to steal your nickels. Serious, dude. I don't know how else to tell you, man. I know that you're feeling that nickel and you're like, this nickel is a nickel. But it's hooked up to a Skeksis, man. That nickel used to be able to buy you an entire Big Mac and fries. I don't think you understand. I think that it being 51,000 times less valuable now, if that doesn't sing true, I don't think you're going to make it, man. But I embrace your flowering and wherever it goes, wherever it takes you. But anyone pretending that a nickel has value or hasn't losing its value or is not losing its value right now is really, really missing. I mean, wow, you're missing it. I'm boarding Algo. I don't know what that is from, man, 242. But if you guys were coming to Crypto Dojo, there's a lot of people that just want to learn. They'd love to hear all these different things. Yeah, I linked my wallet last night and was wondering how I could learn. Oh, awesome, Alex. Yeah. The key, guys, is just to learn that MetaMask wallet, learn how to use that. You can create... I got you serious. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I understand. I still love the idea. I didn't mean to make an example out of you. Not that even that I did. You're probably like, dude, I don't fucking care. Who knows? Anyway. I feel some flowering. Good, Lisa. Good. Just get used to that wallet. Get used to what that means. I've got like 4 or 5 wallets. If you don't know this is how they work, I've got like 4 or 5. I'll have one of my wallets is, we'll call it my main wallet, but it's purposely not. My main wallet, I'll just use it for most of any kind of trading I'm doing if I have any staking and stuff. But I don't want other people to see what I'm staking in. And I know how this works enough to where I could look at my wallet, I can look at your wallet, and I can tell you, here's all the things that this wallet that you have has done. So I have 6 wallets, 5, 6, I don't know how many. It's not like I even keep track because you don't need to. These are very disposable things. But on my laptop, I have 1 wallet. I tend to keep all my trading on there because it's a Mac. It's not on the regular network stuff, and it's eventually it will be my bank on that computer, sort of. But then I have a wallet on my PC downstairs. I have a wallet on my phone. I have another wallet on my Mac. You can actually have the same browser and have 3 different wallets. You could have, for example, I have a James Chu wallet, and then I have a Dojo Earth DAO wallet. Until Dojo Earth builds its DAO properly, which we have actually, but what I mean is when you build the DAO, we as the DAO can decide that the wallet itself belongs to the DAO. Believe it or not, you can do that. You don't need a notary. You don't need to trust anybody. You don't even need to trust anybody. It's all verifiable because you can sign up for a multi-keyed wallet. And that multi-keyed wallet would be the only way that anyone in the DAO could spend money. This is just one way to set it up, is if everyone who holds the key to that wallet agrees, for example. And there's no trust involved. Physically, the money will not leave the account until everyone with the key comes in and goes, yep, and then it goes out. That's why it's called a DAO. It's Decentralized Autonomous Organization. It's a tribal government. And you can set that up however you want. Dojo Earth really believes in unanimous government. I think you'll find that we will be one of the few DAOs that only runs unanimously. I think it will make us very unique. I think it will make us very, very unique because we will hopefully be operating from that unanimous part. I say hopefully because I don't know if I would want to be participating in a DAO where majority rule will get to decide what happens. And the Iroquois Confederacy used to run this way. It was truly a universal agreement. Government is a tapestry of agreements. It's not a tapestry of most agreements. That's just fraud. All that is fraud. And I'd like for you guys to picture that if enough people formed their DAOs, that it would have enough insulation inside of it. Keep in mind that once our DAO has its own token, that even money itself will become something that the tribe owns, that it would own its own form of currency. And that all these DAOs having their own form of currency really does make the dynamic of paying taxes, as you now know it, impossible. I say impossible because they would have to come in and somehow systematically know how much you currently value, piece of candy, how much that you value a peanut. Why? Because these aren't currency either, but here you and I are deciding that these peanuts are our currency. And that no one outside of our group even can connotate the amount of value those things have. So the system of taxation, which has really just been seriously just sucking the life force out of you, 45% of your life force. Think about it. Even things that you inherit are taxed. Those things don't belong to you. They're inherited by the government. Your life force was inherited by the government. You're giving 45% to it. So we can talk about how I wish James would stop talking about that stuff, but you really need people talking about this stuff. The future of taxation is not only impossible, it's unsustainable. The future of taxation is going to look more like government service. If you want to access a certain piece of property, it's going to be maintained by a tokenized service. And that tokenized service is going to be fulfilled by those who have tokens. And if you do not have tokens, you will be given a CBDB. And your nickel will always be a nickel. Your dollar will always be a dollar. Your $5 will always be $5. And you will only get that CBDC if you're vaccinated. If you follow the rules. If you play along. It's the only way. It's the only way. Which is why I think that it's sad watching all these people drop like flies right now, but I'm telling you that dropping is not ended, and that more will be dropping soon, and the ones that will drop will be the ones that are insisting that their dollars are the only way to go forward. Their immunity is being lost right now. I think the Dojo Earth DAO is an arc. I happen to have more skills when it comes to programming than the average person does. It's just been in my life, most of my life, professionally. To me, it makes sense that I would put my calories into doing something like this right now. And as you know by my numbers, I've never really been someone that's like, I will change my show so that I will get numbers. I want to build stuff. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm going to keep doing. And I hope you'll join me. So, yeah. Yeah, and the executor gets half. And there's no way for them to get to half if no one even has the same idea about money. I think people that don't understand crypto really miss that the most. They legitimately think that there's only one definition of money, and that's never been the case. But because they can't wrap their thoughts around that idea, they just picture it as a trap. Because they think that everyone would have to be into the same crypto for this to work, and that's not how it works. It's going to work just like the derivatives market would. It would be like you trying to come online and saying, well, no, oil is the only commodity. It's just physically impossible to look at it that way. In fact, the moment that you would make oil the only commodity, you would instantly have 17 other commodities that would pop up simply because of the embargo. That's happening right now in crypto. Even as they're trying to stifle Ethereum, and they've done a good job. When I say they, I'm talking about the very same people that are so afraid of blockchain. It's so weird that we're like how evil blockchain is, and literally, the biggest person that's warning you about the dangers, the deadly, deadly dangers of blockchain, the person who's warning you the most, is goddamn JP Morgan. The same people that you're terrified of are the ones that are telling you Bitcoin is a scam. They're the same people telling you, we need to regulate the shit out of this. Are you kidding? And you hear this stuff, oh, well, James, that's because they secretly want you to go in. And you're talking all this reverse, backwards. It's just so retarded to even go there. These people have plenty of money. They don't have to pretend. They don't have to pretend one thing and say another. That's part of the luxury of having that much coin. You get to say that. You get to be that. Anyway. So, yeah. If you want to check it out, check it out. If not, that's okay. We'll be plenty more coming. Plenty more stuff coming. So, all right, guys. Have a wonderful day. remember the Alamo, and thank you for your lack of service.